Fans of Aaron Taylor Johnson and Joey King have been going crazy online with rumors that the two Bullet Train stars had an affair. Many Aaron Taylor Johnson fans have shared rumors of him cheating on his wife, who is 23 years older than him.
He met his wife, Sam, when he was 17 and she was 42 with 2 children.
On top of their problematic age gap, she was also the director of the movie, aka his boss.
She was basically old enough to be your mother. She had teenage children that you are basically the same age as. That's freaking weird.
Hollywood couple Sam and Aaron Taylor Johnson have recently made headlines due to their unconventional relationship. The couple, who have been married for over 10 years, are currently trending all over social media and news outlets. Aaron Taylor Johnson's appearance in the film Bullet Train has stirred quite the controversy. It is being reported that while filming Bullet Train, he had an affair with his co-star Joey King. Though these allegations have been denied by both parties, the public's reaction to these rumors are making headlines. Lauren Vogel from Unpublished Magazine writes, "I do not know Joey King or Aaron Taylor Johnson, and I have no idea if they even had an affair. But I am aware of what they symbolize and what they can be boiled down to. Joey King is woman, Aaron Taylor Johnson is male victim, and his wife, Sam Taylor Johnson, is woman abuser." Sam Taylor Johnson is a prominent director who has come under fire because of her marriage to Aaron. The couple have a 23-year age gap, as Sam is currently 55 years old and Aaron 32. Due to the nature of their relationship and timeline of when they became a couple, Sam has been called an abuser, a groomer, a predator, and a grandmother, among other things. In an article, Stacey Lee Kong writes, "She wasn't just older than him. She was also wealthier, better connected, and professionally more established, which created a huge power imbalance, not only in the age gap, but also professionally." Sam and Aaron's relationship has been a hot topic for many years, ever since they worked together in Sam's first directorial feature film, Nowhere Boy, in 2009. In this video, we will take a deep look into the nature of their relationship and how it all began. But let's first get to know our subjects. Sam Taylor Johnson was born on March 4, 1967, in Croydon, London, to parents David and Geraldine. Growing up in South London, Sam had a rather complicated childhood. Her father, a biker, walked out on her mother and abandoned his family when she was just 9 years old. Upon her parents' divorce, Sam and her sister were raised in a commune until their mother abandoned them when Sam was 15 years old. In an interview, Sam discusses her childhood by saying, quote, "I grew up in a very hippie environment with hand-me-downs and knitted clothing." Upon graduating college, Sam pursued photography and art and held very successful exhibits. For the longest, she tried to avoid this calling, though she would eventually give in.
In 1997, a group of young British artists, dubbed the YBAs, solidified their careers in an exhibit which created a sensation in the world of art. Now, one of the talented artists who exhibited in that landmark show was photographer and filmmaker Sam Taylor Wood. And the first major museum exhibit of her works in the U.S. has just arrived at its first stop, Mocha, Cleveland.
I feel very passionate about what I do, and I also feel that if I didn't do what I did, then I'd probably slightly lose my mind, because it's sort of brimming constantly with these ideas.
In 1997, Sam married art dealer Jay Joplin, gave birth to their first child, and was also diagnosed with colon cancer. In an interview with Harper's Bazaar, she said, quote, "It was 1997. I was 30 years old and had given birth to our daughter 8 months prior when I was diagnosed with colon cancer. I took on cancer like I take on everything, like a mission and a job to accomplish. I look at Angelica and say, there's no option here. I've got to fight through it. I had to have abdominal surgery and they said, you can't hold your baby. It was terrible."
So 1997, the Venice Biennale. Will you tell me what you did there?
Yeah, 1997 was probably one of the best and one of the worst years of my life. I'd say the best because I have my daughter, Angelica, who is now 22. And then I won the Venice Biennale Most Promising Artist Award, which is the big thing.
That's a big fucking thing.
Yeah, and then just as my ego was riding high, I got slapped down with a bit of cancer and had to go through that. So it was a bit of a high and low year, but that was something that was interesting because I just had Angelica and I'd gone for the exhibition and then gone back home and they said, "You've won. Can you come back and accept the award?" And I was like, "No, I can't. I really can't." I didn't know I was sick at the time, but I was really fucking tired. And I was like, I can't come back. Just send it, stick it in the post.
After successfully battling her way to remission, Sam was dealt a second blow. When at 32, she discovered a lump in her breast. Sam said, "They kept saying it was 1 in a million, therefore it can't be cancer. I underwent a mastectomy and reconstructive surgery. It was pretty brutal." Upon her surgery, Sam was encouraged to take medication that doctors said would ensure that the cancer would not return. Sam rejected their recommendations and instead completely changed her diet. Upon reading a book that linked breast cancer to hormones and growth factors found in dairy products, she said, "After that, I gave up dairy and didn't really drink that much. I learned to say no to some of the invitations that came my way, and I tried to focus on being calmer. I had been punishing my immune system. I was trying to live hard like all of my friends, and I realized that I can't. I was struggling with alcohol and realized that I was an addict." Sam would completely give up alcohol, certain foods, and sever ties with toxic friends as she navigated her way through her health journey and remission. After being cancer-free for 5 years, Sam and Jay welcomed their second child. Though things seemed picture-perfect on the outside, her marriage was crumbling on the inside. In September 2008, the couple separated and filed for divorce. That following month, while in the process of moving homes, Sam would meet her future husband. She said, "I remember it was a really complicated day. I was moving house. I was so distracted and up to my ears in stuff, and he came in. He was so focused and started talking to me immediately in character and gave a totally brilliant reading. He had such intensity the moment he came through the door." There have been several rumors going around regarding the inception of Sam and Aaron's relationship. Some claim Aaron was 16 when they began dating. Others say he was 17. Some say that Sam waited until he was legal to pursue him. Others say he was 19 years old. And finally, some allege that she left her husband for him. So let's get to the facts before we go into Aaron's background. To reiterate, Sam and her first husband, Jay Joplin, separated and filed for divorce in September 2008. The following month, Aaron would go to her house to audition for Nowhere Boy, which was in October of 2008, making him 18 years old and Sam 41. There's been no indication or confirmation that Sam and Aaron knew each other prior. Later on in this video, you will hear for yourself information that will again confirm that they met in October 2008. Aaron Taylor Johnson was born on June 13, 1990, in Buckinghamshire, England, to parents Robert and Sarah. Growing up, Aaron had a very active childhood, where he had lots of friends and played several sports. Aaron is quoted saying that, by the age of 6, he was bit by the acting bug.
You know, I never felt pretty happy at school. I mean, not that anybody really does, but, you know, that didn't feel like the place that I wanted to be. And you know, I kind of grew up around, you know, adults and worked with it, you know, and kind of matured in that sort of way. And
so was taking on all those different things when you were young normal for your age group or people who were doing things, or were you?
I'll put it this way, right? I was 6 years old. I grew up outside of the city, outside London, and the first thing I did was on stage in the West End on Unexpected Calls, and I go on. You know, I'd be at school, and then I'd get some chaperone would come pick us up at a certain place outside of London. We'd drive in for about an hour to London. I'd do, you know, something at 7. It would start, you know, 7 o'clock or something, and I'd do the curtain call at 10, and I was 6, and then we'd drive all the way back again. By the time I got in bed, it was midnight, right? So, and then I'd have school the next day.
Aaron would then do several stage shows, musicals, and plays to further work on his craft. Acting was an outlet and a way for him to express himself. In an interview, he speaks about a time where he was 8 years old and experienced something that has stayed with him over the years.
I remember like another thing I did on stage. I was 8 years old and I played Son of Macduff, and it was Rufus Sewell. It was Macbeth, and like I was 8, and there was a sweet little scene with me and the mother, and we sit in a bath, and then we get killed by these villains. And I had to be butt naked, like I had to just walk on completely naked and get in a bath. And I remember at the time feeling, well, this is slightly weird because, you know, why aren't I just wearing like beige coloured Speedos or something? But for some reason...
Was it that kind of production? Was everybody naked, or...?
No, it was a Thelma Holt production, which is...
It's like Polanski's Macbeth, the witches are topless.
No,
around the cauldron.
No, just the young boys, I think.
Oh, is that kind of production?
No, you know, it was on the West End, and that was mad. But I can't remember really giving a about being naked. It was just, you know, I got to do like some Shakespeare when I was 8.
So was that a trippy show to be? I mean, that's a lot of stuff going on in that show that's really not for 8-year-olds. Did you just kind of grin and bear it? Is it not really complicated for you?
Maybe at the time it was probably something I didn't understand again, but yeah, again, it gave a like I was just enjoying it, you know, and I learned a lot from that, and you know, and then I did bits of TV and stuff, and then the first film I did was when I was 10, and then you know, and that was a shock because I was kind of used to doing kind of bits of theatre, and then knowing that you don't act like that in front of a camera, sort of thing, you know.
Aaron consistently booked acting gigs thereafter and eventually dropped out of school at the age of 15 to fully pursue acting. Though his career was on the up, his personal life was going through a very dark period. In an interview with ES Magazine, Aaron said the following, quote, "I always felt more confident as someone else other than myself. I was better at being a character, better as someone else, and acting gave me that escape. But I started going off the rails. Yeah, I had a self-destructive moment. I started drinking really early. I grew up in a remote little village. What else are you going to do? By the time I was 15, I was going to clubs in London. Then I just went mad. I blew a ton load of money and had 2 years that I cannot even remember. I was messing up all my work and my life. It was a crappy, dark moment. I was having a bit of trouble transitioning, understanding why I was so successful maybe. It was just before Nowhere Boy. Since Aaron was a child actor and had entered the industry at such a young age, he often spent a lot of time alone, away from his parents and sister, which resulted in severe loneliness, bad habits, and depression. In 2008, Aaron booked the lead role in the action comedy film Kick-Ass. While filming that movie, Aaron read the script for the feature film Nowhere Boy, set to be directed by Sam. On the set of Kick-Ass, during one of his lunch breaks, Aaron went to Sam's house to audition for the lead role in Nowhere Boy. In an interview with Harper's Bazaar, Aaron said this about the audition. "I remember it very, very clearly. I know exactly what she was wearing, this white shirt that she still has, that I love. It definitely changed my life, though not in the way I expected."
Was Aaron an easy cast? Was that...
Yeah, I mean, obviously that was a crucial one to get right, but I was lucky in as much as in the first 10, I think I saw him, and I pretty much instinctually knew that he was going to be Lennon because he'd come straight from Kick-Ass and he'd just been playing, you know, this geeky, nerdy, super bad American. And so I didn't hold up high hopes. I just thought, you know, I don't know what I thought. Or maybe I do, but I won't share them. But I opened the front door and he was there, and he'd already sort of inhabited the role in a sense. He understood that it was about the spirit of Lennon, not just mimicking or impersonating. But he wouldn't speak to me, and he had the accent down and he had the voice down, and he was not speaking to me as Aaron. He was already speaking to me as John. And I thought that was impressive for such an early point. And then I saw 200 others just to make sure that he was right. Just cover myself.
Aaron's role, playing musician John Lennon in Nowhere Boy, was intimidating, as he had to learn how to play guitar, sing, and speak like John Lennon. He was still a fairly new actor and had big shoes to fill. But according to Aaron, that was the least of his concerns, as he is quoted saying that he began to develop strong feelings for his director, Sam. Now, according to Sam, they maintained a professional relationship while filming, and that nothing inappropriate happened. The couple told Harper's Bazaar the following, We had an intense connection upon meeting, but we were very professional through the entire film with no funny business at all. Simon Hattenstone, a journalist for The Guardian, visited the set and wrote the following, quote, "Whenever the rain comes, she runs inside the house, arm in arm with Aaron Johnson, who plays Lennon. They dance and laugh, like teenagers in love. I've never been on a film set with such a strange atmosphere. While the rest of the cast and crew are welcoming, Sam and Aaron seem oblivious to the world." Journalist Seth O'Hagan wrote, quote, "On the set, so the story goes, they fell madly in love, and their subsequent forays into the limelight were conducted against a tabloid frenzy of attention that centered on the fact that he was half her age."
So how did you guys meet?
We met on a movie called Nowhere Boy, which was my first feature-length movie. I'd made a short movie before that. I basically opened the door to John Lennon, which was the movie I was making. It'd be strange if it was a movie about someone else and he came as John Lennon, but he came as John Lennon for that movie. And I knew in that moment that he was going to be the actor for the movie.
How?
Because I'd seen a lot of actors and I saw more after seeing him, and he was the only one who didn't impersonate Lennon. He came in as an embodiment. So he didn't just put on the Liverpool accent and do all of that. But he actually walked the way that I'd studied. So, obviously looked at lots of film footage, and Aaron had the walk, the mannerisms, the look, the angle of the head, all of that down already. And I knew he was doing Kick-Ass and he was in a completely different world. And that was, all encompassing. So the fact that he had come off that set and straight round for the audition and was already in that headspace without us even working on that character together was impressive. And I knew how incredibly talented he was in that moment.
After 8.5 weeks of filming, Nowhere Boy wrapped in May of 2009. Everyone was celebrating and in good spirits when Aaron approached Sam and told her that he was going to marry her. In a 2019 interview, Sam said, "We were very professional through the entire film, but everyone on set knew. And as soon as we finished, he told me he was going to marry me. We had never been on a date or even kissed." Nowhere Boy premiered in Britain on October 29, 2009, which was a big night for the couple. But it would also be the night that the then 19-year-old Aaron proposed to 42-year-old Sam. Speaking about the proposal, Aaron said, "In a year to the minute after we met, exactly 1 year to the minute, I got down on one knee and asked her to marry me."
I proposed exactly a year to the day that we met. I got down on one knee and I proposed to Sam, and then I think it was only about 3 months later she was pregnant with our first daughter, Wilder. Yeah.
Do you ever have feelings about the whole tradition of the down on one knee thing?
I didn't even...
Sorry, this question was not for you, Aaron.
Okay, step down.
Sorry, this question was for Sam.
I have feelings of when that moment happened. It was the most memorable moment of my life and a complete life-changing moment. And so my opinion on that is that it meant everything. So my opinion is I liked that tradition. At first, I didn't know what he was doing. I was like, "What are you doing down there?"
But where was it?
It was in London, and Aaron was timing it to the minute of when we first met a year before.
Sam and Aaron's relationship moved rather quickly, with the couple announcing their pregnancy 3 months after their engagement. When the story broke, the media and the public were shocked, calling Sam a fossil and a cradle robber. Stacey Kong writes, "Here's the thing though. Teenagers have crushes on adults all the time. That doesn't mean we should take them up on it. In fact, we have a responsibility not to act on their attraction, even if they seem mature for their age. But that's exactly what Sam did." Though Sam and Aaron received a lot of backlash from the public for their relationship, they also received lots of praise and support, as others defended their relationship, calling it a great love story. Family friend and global star Elton John said the following, quote, "They have one of Hollywood's great love stories, one that rivals those of Bogey and Bacall, Taylor and Burton, Steve McQueen and Ally McGraw, but one that is somehow more beautiful because it hasn't been played out in the public." Aaron loves her so much and is crazy about her. They are blissfully happy. It's her life, and she can be with whoever she wants as long as she is happy. Journalist Rachel Combe of Elle magazine wrote the following, quote, "The official groupthink of mainstream press was one of discomfort more than outrage. Bloggers and their anonymous posters were, however, breathtakingly vicious, offering comparisons to Mary Kay Letourneau, the teacher convicted in 1997 for having intercourse with her 12-year-old student. A lot of math was done. Perez Hilton wondered whether it was wrong that Aaron would be closer in age to the baby than to his wife. When a powerful young man of a certain age woos a pretty young thing, people roll their eyes, but they don't react as though it's diabolical or incomprehensible. But reverse the roles and everyone starts squirming."
Sam Taylor-Wood has already got the ball rolling for this year. Almost 3 months after announcing her engagement to actor Aaron Johnson, the artist's spokesman has confirmed they're expecting a baby. There were eyebrows raised when the pair first hooked up after meeting on the set of the 42-year-old's debut feature film Nowhere Boy. The surprise? Well, the actor who took on the role of a young John Lennon is just 19. Sam said of the 300-odd people who auditioned for the role, Aaron was the only one who stood out, describing his portrayal as perfect. It's the third child for the star, who has 2 daughters with ex-husband Jay Jopling. They divorced in 2008, just before he had a brief romance with Lily Allen. It does mean Sam will be kicking off the new decade in some style, with a new baby, new hubby, and with a 23-year age gap between them. Whether she likes it or not, she's now the new queen of the Cougars.
Sam and Aaron were warned by their publicist that they needed to keep their relationship a secret due to the age gap, the power imbalance, and the fact that she was his director. Their team said that this was bad for business and that it was in their best interest to hide it. According to Aaron, that was something he refused to do, saying, "It shaped and changed our world quite quickly, but we were both strong and stayed by each other's side. We didn't listen to our publicist, who said things like, if you go out to events, make sure you take separate cars. Don't be seen together, all that crap. I won't mention names, but further up the line, you see bigger actors playing those sorts of games. We never wanted to. We did what we felt was right." Sam and Aaron were determined to be together and would not let anyone or anything stand in their way, even Aaron's parents, who disagreed with their relationship. As 19-year-old Aaron prepared for marriage, he would also begin preparing himself to be a stepfather to Sam's children from her previous marriage.
You've been in the news as well a little bit because, of course, the director of Nowhere Boy is now your fiancée. You're engaged now to Sam Taylor-Wood, the brilliant British artist, and did a fabulous job on that as well. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's lovely. And you're expecting as well? You've got a baby on the way to you?
Yeah, in summertime, yeah.
Can I ask, do you know whether it's a boy or a girl? Do you want to find out?
I don't know. It's a surprise.
Okay. Do you have any names sorted out yet? Or?
Yeah, we got a list of boys and a list of girls.
So you're kind of ahead of yourself there. But you're already a dad to an extent because you have stepchildren now, and if you're going to get married, they'll be yours, I guess, as well.
Yeah.
How are you finding that? How are you finding being a young father to?
Great, yeah. I mean, that's what that's why most people say we wouldn't. It's been my first child, but most people say you're nervous and that, and I guess I'm not really because, I live with the 2 girls, one's 3 and one's 12, and I already sort of do the school runs and stuff like that, and it's just a family home, so I'm just excited for them.
On July 8th, 2010, Sam and Aaron welcomed their first child together. In an interview while promoting the movie Nowhere Boy, Aaron spoke about the arrival of their daughter.
Thing is, now I have a life, I have a family. I've got, beautiful baby and 3 girls and, a fiance, and, I've got like a whole other life that to me, that is what I wanted. Like, that's when I knew. I didn't have that moment where I was like, I'm going to be an actor. Like, that's what I'm going to be. Like, the only time I've ever felt like that about anything is when I was with Sam and wanting a family and that. So to me, that's my destiny. That's like what I'm going to have for the rest of my life. But this, it might, fuck knows what's going to happen.
So did that feeling of being the idea of being a father and family and all of that sneak up on you? Was that expected or?
No, it was something that we planned. It was something.
But I mean, for you, was it a surprise? But I meant, was it like emotion for yourself as a young man growing, getting older? Is that something that's a goal? Was that a goal in your life, or is that just something that happened and therefore you felt?
I've always felt like that. I've always felt like I wanted to be like, yeah. The moment I met Sam, I already, I knew.
Made sense.
I knew I just wanted a baby, yeah, and a family, exciting. And I almost, I stepped into those sort of shoes, being a parent, because we already had two girls as well.
Right.
Yeah, it was, it wasn't like. It just felt that's where I wanted to be. That's what I wanted, and that's where I feel comfortable, and that's what gives me that grounding, and that's that part of my life that that's why I wake up in the mornings, for them. So not for acting or what it's gonna do,
What changes your priorities in a hurry? I would say I have an 8.5-month-old, so I'm going through it myself.
There's of course, there's at one point in my life, it was only me. You know what I mean? That's just selfish, almost. It's just you're number one, and now, I couldn't possibly think of that. That's like to the side almost, and it's all about my family, and that's my responsibilities, but that's what I actually love doing. And that's where I feel at my best.
About 11 months later, the couple welcomed their second child together on January 18th, 2012. Aaron was 21 and Sam was 43. 5 months later, the couple wed in Somerset, England on June 21st, 2012. Speaking about her relationship with Aaron, Sam said, "I've made lots of big decisions in my life that have shocked people. I've never really thought of other people's opinions, so why start now? My friend said I'm an imagination to women in their 40s. Let's all make babies. It's a fairy tale." Though Sam was labeled many things by the public and media, she was also looked at and seen as some sort of pillar for the feminist community and movement. In a 2017 Harper's Bazaar article, one journalist wrote, "Naturally, a younger man wanting to be in a relationship with an older woman is a lot for many to compute. Such are society's sexist and outdated parameters of what a happy couple should look like." In a 2019 Elle article, another journalist wrote, "At the time, the age gap between the pair caused ludicrous and, let's face it, sexist controversy." Though some felt the need to address what they called the unfair and unjust treatment of Sam, others have maintained that this relationship is wrong and problematic. Kong writes, "To be fair, Sam has been the subject of sexism and ageism, especially on Twitter. She's been referred to as a fossil, that old lady, a hag, and an old blank, which is definitely not okay. But it's dishonest to characterize criticism itself as sexist or believe that women are somehow fundamentally incapable of being predatory."
Sam, what's it like directing your husband in a sex scene with another woman?
Well, I mean, we wrote it together, so I kind of knew what we were getting into when we were writing it. And then it's another thing when you're filming it, and Odessa's an amazing actress, and the two of them, we're blocking it out, we're composing the shot, and then I'm behind the monitor, I'm watching it, and I'm like, oh.
Moving forward, Sam and Aaron became very private and did not speak to the press or media about their union. But as Aaron was on a press tour to promote his new movie Bullet Train, rumors began to swirl, accusing Aaron and Joey King of having an affair.
Did Aaron Taylor Johnson cheat on his wife? Now, according to a blown-up TikTok and some inside sources, apparently Aaron cheated on his wife Sam with none other than Joey King, his Bullet Train co-star, during the press run. Now, keeping in mind that Joey is actually engaged to someone else, people are over the moon that Aaron cheated on his wife. Now, part of the reason fans are so excited by the idea that Aaron would cheat on his wife is the fact that they have a 23-year age gap, and a lot of people are claiming that she and him started seeing each other before he was 18 years old. Now, there was also a rumor that Aaron and his wife were getting a divorce, but seeing as they celebrated their 10th wedding anniversary with a vow renewal in 2022, I highly doubt that that's going to be the case.
When this story broke, the public went crazy, posting memes, videos, and comments, rejoicing in the hope and chance that these rumors were true. With Aaron in the final talks of being the next James Bond, his marriage has created discourse about age gap relationships, double standards, sexism, and grooming. Sam said, "I know so many men who have similar age differences in relationships, and it's never an issue. In our situation, No one is hurting anyone. No one is unhappy. It's just the outside world that feels they have to remark, and you can't listen to it. Or else, what are you going to do? Say, yeah, you're right. I should have just gone out with a random fat block. Aaron added, I was raised by women. Now I'm raising women. I was always better around girls. I live in an all-female household. I even have 2 female dogs. It's funny how that turned out. My girls have the best woman to look up to. She's the strongest woman I know. As role models go, she's the best. She's so inspiring and smart. My girls are all going to be strong women too. I don't look at Sam as if she's a lot older than me. I feel like we're on the same path. I've always wanted this. I planned on having a baby, and Sam's a fantastic mother. I've never been interested in girls, and you can be a girl even if you're in your 40s or something. Men are the same. There are some men who I know a lot older than me who act so immature and don't get their priorities straight, or what their responsibilities are if they are a father. With Sam, I just feel like we're 2 souls that have been joined together. I really do. The only thing I've ever been sure in my life is when I wanted to be with Sam. She makes me feel safe, confident, and secure. Journalist Combe argues that naysayers have tended to infantilize Aaron, wondering what his parents must think. She writes, I'm sure every 40-something working mother of 3 could benefit from having her partner gush about her like a teenager, like he invented love just for her. But journalist Nicole Dominique writes, ever since the actor's fans learned about how he met his wife Sam, both of them have faced endless criticism online, and Aaron apparently even had to limit his Instagram comments to avoid the negativity. But are people taking it too far? Or is their outrage justified?
I want to thank my wife for being there with me and supporting me through this. I mean, and thank you for putting up with me. Jesus, that was not very pleasant in this role. So, you're my soulmate, and I love you very much. I'm blessed. I have 4 beautiful daughters, Angelica, Phoenix, Wada, and Romy. I love you all very much. I've got 2 proud parents watching tonight, so